Can I ask you another question? What do you think of the late Milton William Cooper?
William Cooper? I knew William Cooper. You're talking about the man who was killed?
Yes.
Yeah, William Cooper. I knew him well, but I have to tell you, because I knew him well, I've been on his show. I went to see him. I did radio shows with him in Mesa, Arizona. I knew him well. I never saw him draw a sober breath. I think he was probably a confirmed alcoholic. I was there. I saw it. He was always smelling of alcohol. He always smelled like he had been drinking. And he always acted like it. He was very, very his main problem was he drank too much, alcoholic, but when he got drunk, he got mean. He started fights. He didn't mind fighting in a bar. He didn't mind that, calling people out in the street, because when he was drinking, he was very, very mad, very angry.
I can understand the kind of guy, but what about his book, Behold a Pale Horse? Did you ever read it or had opinions on it?
Yep. I think he had some very good observations in there, but I don't think he understood theologically the kind of things I was talking about, because he would interview me on his radio shows, and then he would hear what I thought, and it wasn't what he believed. And so he had the problem of trying to explain, well, that's Jordan Maxwell's idea. That's his thinking. But my feeling was that, don't throw what I'm saying out with the bathwater. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I may be right. I could be right on what I'm saying. And if I am, it would mean that the whole world is wrong. People who have taken their religious beliefs and believe that they know what they're talking about, I don't think they do. I don't think the religious people of this world know what they're talking about.
You agree that he died because he was killed?
Yeah, of course he was, of course. But I also know he was drinking heavy that day. And when you're drinking, and when you're an alcoholic and you're drinking and you got a bad temper when you drink, and everybody knew that, everybody knew him, knew that don't be around him if he's drinking, because he's mad. And he doesn't mind picking a fight with you right in the middle of no matter where he was, he'd pick a fight with you right then and there. So you're going to have to fight him. You better go outside. You're going to have to fight him, because that's who he is. He's a military guy. He's a military man. He likes drinking, and he don't mind street fighting. And so he did some things in Snowflake, Arizona, where he lived. There were some young kids coming across his property, young kids going home. They didn't go down the sidewalk in the street to go home. They would cut through his property to go home the short way. And he would go out there with a gun and threaten the kids, get off the property, I'll shoot you. And so the kids reported that to the police, that this man was out there with a shotgun, with a rifle, and was going to shoot them. And so the cops had heard him all the time. They hear about him picking fights and him drinking on public. So they had enough of him. So they went out to his house, from what I was told. They went out to his house and they provoked him. They provoked him to come with a gun. They wanted him to come out with a gun. Bring your gun out and come out here. And so the cops were provoking him to come out. And from what I hear, they shot his dog. His dog was the only thing he had left in the world. He loved his dog, but he was an alcoholic street fighter. And so when they shot his dog, that was the last straw. He went crazy, and because he had been drinking to start with, and he was a street fighter to start with. You shoot his dog, and now you got a fight. Now you got a fight. And so when he came at them, and from what I hear, he fired the first shot at the human. They shot the dog, but he shot them. And his was the first shot, and that's what they wanted. They wanted him to shoot up. They set him up.
They set him up. Thank you.
They knew he was an alcoholic. They knew he would go crazy. They knew if they shot his dog, they'd have to shoot him too. They knew that. So that's what they did. They set him up. And so when you hear that the law and the government killed him, well, that's true. I mean, it was the police department. It was